Hi, I'm Sylph.
I'm Moonchild.
I started my journey about 30 years ago. I was raised atheist, but I've always known there was something else from very young age on. And about 30 years ago, I was a security guard, and I was working nights. I was making my rounds, and I heard a voice over and over again. It was saying, "Pay attention, pay attention." And when I came to my last stop and I got out, it just got stronger and stronger. And it kept repeating itself, "Pay attention." I got out, and it said again, "Pay attention." And so I did, and I looked, and in front of me was my grandma. And she had passed a long time before that. And so I paid attention, and there in the foreground came my grandma that was still alive. And she looked at me and she said goodbye and said my name and then disappeared again. I still had a couple hours left of work. I was a little distraught for the rest of the time. Needless to say, as soon as I came home, I called my mom. There was a 7-hour difference, so it was afternoon that day. And my mom said, "Oh, why?" When I asked how my grandma was doing, she said, "She's fine. A matter of fact, she's been doing a lot better these last couple days compared to the last couple months." And why? And I'm like, "Oh, I just wanted to know. Good that she's doing better." And we left it at that. And I thought, well, maybe I just had a weird hallucination or something. And I chalked it off to that and went on my day. And then the next day late, my mom called and told me my grandma passed away. I started getting hysterical, cried really hard, and my mom said, it's okay, it's okay. Yeah, she was old, and but I didn't cry because she passed. I wasn't very close to her. I hadn't seen her in forever. I cried because I just gave myself these human superpowers. I had just killed my grandma. Yeah, I had just dreamt that up, and but then I started rationalizing this, and it's like, what does that really mean? And I came to the conclusion that I must be psychic. And so I bought some tarot cards, bought some books about being psychic, and I opened the gates. Big mistakes. I said, like, talk to me. All your spirits, talk to me. And like I said, it was a big mistake. It was like the gates just opened, and I was flooded with voices. Was like a train station. All I could hear was all these voices all at once. I couldn't hear any specific voice, just like murmuring all over. Couldn't make any specific voice out. It's just a big old chatter, and it just continued and continued. I couldn't sleep. It just continued all through the night, all through the day, and it drove me crazy. I was really worried, and I started calling psychics, and the first two didn't help. So I called the third, and her name was Taco, and she told me to say this prayer, and after I said the prayer, it immediately stopped. And we made friends, and she kind of helped me develop my psychic ability. And throughout the time, I became a phone psychic. I ended up having a psychic school. It was all in Salt Lake City, Utah. And then in 98, I moved to Wisconsin, and I was dating a born-again Christian, and in born-again Christianity, all this is evil. So I abandoned all of it. my whole spiritual side was gone. And once I broke up with him, it slowly came back. And then for the last 10 years, I'm back practicing my true calling. I'm an empath. I am a master Reiki practitioner. I'm a spiritual guide. I am a minister and a psychic. And Moonchild and I decided recently to explore the digital realm and sharing our gifts in a new and exciting, magical way. It's Moonchild's turn.
All right. I kind of started my journey when I was a child. I was raised in a Christian home. My parents believed in going to church every Sunday. Didn't think a whole lot about it until I was 9 years old. I remember sitting in the church pew, and something just came over me, thinking that there was just something they weren't telling me. Something deep in my soul told me that there was another story that I needed to hear. So fast forward a little bit till I was a little bit older. I was able to sense different energies walking into a room or being around certain people. Also, when I got a little bit older and I was married in a house that we were living in, there was a lot of activity. I was able to hear a lot of things, things that I couldn't see. I was also meditating a lot at that time. I believe I was able to get into other realms. Also started seeing things out of the peripheral of my eyes. And after a little while, it kind of frightened me. So I asked it to stop, and it did. Then after that, it seemed like things were coming more in my dreams. A lot of relatives that had passed away were coming into my dreams and having conversations with me. I remember specifically have a conversation with my grandfather, who had been sitting in my mother's living room in my dream. And I walked into the room and I said, "Grandpa, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here," because he wasn't living anymore. And he said, "Well, I just wanted to come by and say hi and tell you that I was doing okay." I also remember times when I was working in the hospital and visiting with patients and their families, and the families were asking me to pray for their family members, and I was asking Spirit for help, and I was able to kind of comfort these people with the words that Spirit had given me. Also, through the years, I've also read books. I've done some tarot cards, and did a lot of research and that kind of thing to help with my abilities. And then I guess Sylph and I met, and we kind of decided to go the digital route and see what we could do to help people this way. So
Here we are.
Here we are, yes.
Well, we hope that we can help on this format just as well as on the live format. And we're looking forward to working with you. Bye.
Bye.